It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast show on this Tuesday morning. Very frantic and energetic what it's been. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, even though our country is no longer under their constitutional rule and of the monarchy, there is always a buzz that surrounds the British royal family. Now, when they come to Southern Africa for a 3-month royal tour, when they came there in 1947, South Africans turned out in their thousands to welcome them wherever, and perhaps in acknowledgement that this was to be the last hurrah. Now, Graham Viney captures the story of this tour in his book, The Last Hurrah, and joins Expresso this morning to share more ahead of the official book launch today. Graham, thank you very much for joining us. Much appreciated. This must be quite a thing. I mean, whenever you are capturing historical happenings or occurrences, a lot of research must go into this, a lot of time spent into writing this book.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about the journey.
Well, it started on a whim, watching on YouTube a Pathé News documentary of them arriving.
Yes.
And that's sort of, you know, I started, and then I got interested in it. Yeah.
And so what did that tour comprise of when the royal family was here?
Well, it was a 2.5-month tour. They landed in Cape Town, and then they boarded a specially built white and gold train that took them all over South Africa, Swaziland, Bechuanaland, Lesotholand, as it was then, and right up into Rhodesia.
Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about the political controversies surrounding the tour. I'm sure that there were many, and how does the book capture that exactly?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. All the nationalist movement in South Africa, when the tour was announced, just said they were going to boycott it. So that's the Afrikaner, the Indian and black nationalist movements. Actually, they all sort of failed because there was a decided disconnect between what the politicos were asking the people to do and what the people wanted to do. So that was quite interesting. In fact, you could probably say it was one of the few times that South Africa was very nearly united.
And at a time like this, when you know, we are nearly finding stories every single day to divide us, stories of racism popping up on social media left, right and centre, how have you put this book together in such a way that readers will be able to digest it and perhaps draw from it in a positive light?
Well, you mean the structure of the book?
The structure of
it. Well, it divides up quite well. I've used the great set pieces of the tour as the sort of coat peg to hang the politics of the day on. And it's the politics of the day that are as interesting as the actual mechanics of the tour, you know, how the royal train ran, how people in a small village or a big city, you know, were able to welcome them, etc.
Interesting title, The Last Hurrah. Tell me about why you decided to...
I didn't. It's my publisher's decision. But it does come from a paragraph at the end of the first chapter. And in a way, it was the last hurrah, because the next year South Africa changed completely. You know, the nationalist government got in, apartheid was implemented, and then we left the Commonwealth and sort of went into a lager for, you know, 30 years.
And what would you hope that people gain from this book after reading it?
Well, I mean, I think it's always interesting to know, you know, our journey and where we've come from, to know what the country was like then. It gives an indication of a more gentle country, I think. Well, you know, people are still interested in the royal family. What can I tell you? You only have to look at Prince Harry and Meghan going around New Zealand and whatever to see that it still seems to generate that interest.
Very true, very true. Well, congratulations with the completion of the book, and you're starting the official tour today. Good luck with that, and thank you for joining us on the show to give us a little bit of a sneak peek as to what we can expect.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. So do make sure that you get your hands on a copy of The Last Hurrah, which is available at all leading book outlets and online stores, and you can get more information on the book by visiting jonathanball.co.za.